A couple of people are questioning Donald Trump's sanity, when one could hardly blame them. There's actually been a number of news reports out recently, including from the New York Times, of insiders saying that Trump might be unmoored, and they're worrying about his mental competence. Now, this is an issue that we'd brought up before, but now I want to go to a couple of folks doing it on camera, on air. One is Tony Schwartz. He's the one that wrote Art of the Deal for Donald Trump. And he spent a lot of time with him writing that book and has come out aggressively against him in the past. But now he's worried not only about his mental fitness, but he says there are people inside the White House that are also worried about that. Let's watch.
He's decompensating. That's a psychiatric term, but what it means in simple terms is he's losing his grip on reality. His reality testing is really poor, and I believe that's exactly what's going on. He is more limited in his vocabulary. He's further from, as I say, this connection to what is factual and real. He is more impulsive. He is more reactive. This is a guy in deep trouble. And one of the problems we have right now is that we're not very sympathetic to the psychological and to the psychiatric community, but that's who we need to be talking to right now.
So look, a lot of us can see it with our own eyes. Now he's even going around saying that the Access Hollywood tape wasn't real when he already admitted it was real. He admitted it publicly, apologized for it. Now apparently internally, not even to be combative or for any political purpose, but internally he's telling people, I don't think that was real. They're like, wait a minute, but I saw you admit it. That's super weird. And in fact, Schwartz now talks about the people that are telling him this that actually know Trump from the inside. Let's watch.
We need to be really bringing in psychiatrists because this is a man who is deeply mentally ill, and literally, for example, I know that 2 different people from the White House, or at least saying they were from the White House and that turned out to be a White House number, have called somebody I know in the last several weeks to say, we are deeply concerned about his mental health.
Wait a minute, you're saying you have knowledge of people calling from a White House line raising that question? Why would they do that? How do you know that?
I know that because I know the person that they called. And this is a person who I absolutely trust, who has great integrity. And this is also, by the way, confirming, I think, something that Vanity Fair wrote in a different context about the concern in the White House. I believe there are people who are concerned. Most of them, I think, are hostages to a cult leader. When you watch Sarah Huckabee Sanders right now, you really feel as if you're watching somebody who is being brainwashed or has been brainwashed.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that last part. I think that people inside the Trump administration are willing participants. They're doing it for the money, the fame, the power. I don't think that you needed to brainwash them to do that. But internal sources talking about how they're worried that Trump might be unhinged is deeply concerning. We started this poll a while back, and when we did, it was near 50-50. It isn't anymore. It's tytnetwork.com/25th, because referring to the 25th Amendment to remove a president for mental incompetence. And we asked you guys, should Trump be disqualified from the presidency for mental incompetence? And the voting is continued. Now it's 79% yes, 21% no. But it's because I think you guys are fair. Of course, not a scientific poll, it's a poll of our audience. But in the beginning, that, like I said, that was nearly an even question when we first started. And I didn't necessarily think that we needed to go in that direction yet, because using the 25th Amendment is a very heavy exercise of power. You need to be absolutely sure that it's not being used for political purposes, but because someone is actually cannot conduct their responsibilities as president. And so Joe Scarborough is going to talk about that. By the way, curious about your opinion and where that poll is going to wind up. So like I said, tytnetwork.com/25th, and we'll have the link in the description box below. So vote on that. I'm curious what you guys think. So now we're going to go to Scarborough, and he's going to talk about the consequences of this possible dementia. Let's watch.
We had a New York Times and Washington Post piece saying so a couple of days ago. And the question is, Mika, if this is not what the 25th Amendment was drafted for,
then what is it?
I would like the cabinet members serving America, not the president, serving America.
America.
You serve America and you know it. You know you don't serve Donald J. Trump, scam developer, scam, Trump University proprietor, reality TV show host. You don't represent him. You represent 320 million people whose lives are literally in your hands, and we are facing a showdown with a nuclear power, and you have somebody inside the White House that the New York Daily News says is mentally unfit, that people close to him say is mentally unfit, that people close to him during the campaign told me had early stages of dementia. Tell me, General Mattis, when is it polite to bring this up in polite society? Rex Tillerson, when is this the right time to talk about a mentally unstable president in the White House and a nuclear showdown with another unstable madman in North Korea? Is it after the first nuclear missiles fly? When exactly is the right time, Steve Mnuchin?
Pence.
Mike Pence. And here's the thing. Everybody around Donald Trump knows he's not stable. Everybody around Donald Trump knows he's not stable now.
Kelly.
Everybody.
Okay, sorry, it's a serious issue, but Mika's reactions there were kind of funny. Pence, Kelly, everyone knows. Anyway, look, this is a super serious issue. I really think that look, I think that, and I've told you this before, I believe that they're going to use Alzheimer's as an excuse to get him out when he's near done. And now that it looks like Mike Flynn might be cooperating with the authorities, he might be near done. So I don't even know if he's faking it. Remember, he had the same lawyer as the mob, and you remember the Chin, one of the mob bosses in New York, faked being crazy for a long time to get out of jail. So I'm not sure what game is being played here, whether he's acting crazy or he actually is crazy. He is not acting like a rational person. And the reality is the closer you get to Trump, the more you realize that. That's why there's these desperate leaks in a sense, where they go to Senator Bob Corker, who's a right-wing Republican. They're like, Bob, tell everybody he's nuts. We got help. It's almost like people coming out and going, get out. Right? So, and now people leaking to Tony Schwartz, to Joe Scarborough, and the list goes on and on. I think the 25th is where this thing ends, but he'll resign before that. But I think that momentum is beginning to build quite significantly, and rightfully so. TYT membership gets you commercial-free Young Turks. Download it, stream it, podcast it, get all the network shows, and support independent media. TYTnetwork.com/join.